Stop everything. Because the d4vd scandal just took a turn so dark, so unexpected, that even his most loyal fans are struggling to process what they just heard. Imagine this. A rising star with millions of streams, brand deals, and a squeaky clean sad boy genius image. And now, a leaked audio that could shatter everything. Add to that whispers of insider betrayal, people from within his own circle allegedly flipping. And suddenly, this isn't just gossip anymore, it's a full-blown industry earthquake. The leaked recording surfaced late last night on multiple underground forums. And within hours, it was trending across Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit. The audio, allegedly featuring d4vd's voice, contains cryptic conversations that fans claim sound like a cover-up. Meanwhile, anonymous sources close to his camp are pointing fingers at a trusted insider, who they believe secretly handed the tape over to investigators. The betrayal cuts deep, not just professionally, but personally. For months, everyone thought this scandal had already hit its peak with the Tesla discovery and the raids. But this is different. This is personal. This is the kind of twist that turns a messy story into a career-ending nightmare. The industry's watching, fans are in chaos, and d4vd's silence is only making the storm worse. What's in the tape? Who leaked it? And how deep does the betrayal go? Buckle up. This story is about to get very real. The moment that audio leaked, the internet stopped. For weeks, the scandal surrounding d4vd had been bubbling: Tesla tickets, raids, swatting incidents, the girl's identity, brands pulling away. But this was different. This was the kind of leak that doesn't just fuel rumors, it rewrites the entire narrative. Within minutes, underground Twitter pages, Reddit threads, and Discord servers were lighting up like wildfire. People weren't just talking. They were dissecting every breath, every background noise in the audio. The clip itself was barely 3 minutes long, but that was enough. A muffled conversation, a voice that sounded eerily like d4vd's, and phrases that made everyone's stomach drop. "It's already handled," the voice said. "Nobody outside needs to know." Fans immediately claimed it was him. Others argued it was a deepfake or some sort of industry trap. But the real twist came when an anonymous account, allegedly someone close to his management, posted. It wasn't leaked. It was handed over. That single sentence sent shockwaves through the community. Inside his camp, panic reportedly erupted. One insider described the scene as chaos behind closed doors. Allegedly, within an hour of the leak hitting the internet, a heated confrontation broke out inside his Los Angeles home. Who did this? Someone was heard shouting in the background of another secretly recorded video. Someone's playing both sides. It felt less like a music crew and more like a thriller, movie unfolding in real time. This is where the betrayal rumors began to crystallize. For months, fans had speculated that someone inside d4vd's circle was cooperating with investigators. Now they had proof. Multiple blogs began claiming that the audio had been in private possession for weeks, maybe even months, before it suddenly surfaced. Some claimed it was turned over to authorities first, then leaked. Others believed it was leaked intentionally to frame him. But either way, the trust inside the circle was gone. Meanwhile, the reactions outside were explosive. Within an hour, hashtags like #d4vdleak and #betrayaltape were trending. Twitter Spaces popped up overnight, with fans playing the audio over and over, pausing every few seconds like detectives in a crime show. One fan tweeted, "I can't believe I'm hearing this." He sounded so calm, like this was planned. Another wrote, "If this is real, this is career-ending." Memes started flooding in, mixing the dark situation with pop culture references, people comparing the betrayal to scenes from Power and Breaking Bad. Industry insiders, who had previously kept quiet, suddenly started dropping cryptic statements. A producer who had worked with him tweeted, "Knew this day was coming. Can't hide forever. Another artist deleted all their collaborations with d4vd from their Instagram feed. A fashion brand that had previously partnered with him put out a vague statement about pausing all future projects pending developments. The fallout was happening in real time, and nobody knew how far it would go. But perhaps the most chilling development came from inside his family. According to one entertainment gossip outlet, a close relative allegedly met with legal representatives in private, and afterward told someone off the record, "We're not going down for his mistakes." That line spread like wildfire. Was this a sign that even his family was preparing to turn their backs? Or was it a strategic move to protect themselves legally? Either way, the image of a united front was shattered. Meanwhile, in legal circles, whispers grew louder. Anonymous legal commentators claimed that the audio could potentially be admissible evidence if verified. If that's his voice, and if it implies concealment of a crime, prosecutors will pounce, one lawyer said in a viral TikTok. Others argued it could be doctored. But everyone agreed on one thing. This was the biggest twist yet. As the chaos escalated online, fans started connecting dots that maybe didn't even exist. Someone claimed the background noise in the recording sounded like it was made in a specific studio in Los Angeles, pointing to geotags from old Instagram stories. Another claimed the phrase, "It's already handled," matched a lyric he once teased in an unreleased track. Suddenly, the scandal wasn't just a story, it was a puzzle, and everyone was racing to solve it. Inside d4vd's inner circle, accusations started flying. People who had been friends since before the fame were reportedly side-eyeing each other, locking phones, going silent in group chats. "Nobody trusts anybody anymore," one anonymous source told a gossip reporter. "We all think someone's wearing a wire. It's insane." Another described the confrontation where one of his closest friends yelled, "If you flipped, say it now before the feds make you say it on the stand." And then came the kicker. A small blog claimed to have insider information that two versions of the audio exist, one longer, one shorter. The one leaked to the public was allegedly edited, but the full version was in the wrong hands. This theory spread like wildfire. Was the leak just the beginning? Was someone holding the extended audio as leverage? Fans speculated endlessly. "This is bigger than we thought," one Reddit thread said. "Someone is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers." Meanwhile, d4vd stayed silent. No statements, no tweets, no live streams, just a wall of silence. And that silence, in the age of social media, spoke louder than words. Fans started begging for clarity. Others accused him of hiding. Some believed his lawyers told him to stay quiet. But as the hours turned into days, the narrative kept building without him. By the end of the first 24 hours after the leak, what had started as a mysterious audio file had turned into a full-blown betrayal saga. His team was fractured. His fan base was split between loyal defenders and skeptics. The industry was backing away slowly, waiting to see how deep the hole would go. And somewhere in the shadows, someone, an insider, a friend, a snake, was holding all the cards. The silence didn't last long. By the second day after the leak, the entire internet had shifted from shock to full-on detective mode. Twitter threads turned into timelines. TikTokers turned into self-proclaimed forensic audio experts. Reddit users started cross-referencing old posts, flight records, tour dates, and leaked footage to figure out who inside d4vd's circle could have betrayed him. And then, just when everyone thought it couldn't get messier, a new post dropped from a burner account claiming to have the full unedited tape. The full unedited tape. The account didn't release the file right away. Instead, it posted a 10-second teaser clip different from the original leak. In this new snippet, you could clearly hear two voices. One sounded exactly like d4vd. The other? People started speculating immediately. Some swore it was a close friend. Others claimed it was someone from his team. The line that set the internet on fire came near the end of the teaser. "You know they'll fold first. We just need to keep our hands clean." That single sentence was like gasoline on a burning house. Theories exploded overnight. "He's admitting to a cover-up," one user tweeted. "No, it's out of context." "It could be about anything," another argued. News pages picked it up within hours. Headlines screamed, "New audio teaser suggests second person involved." Inside the camp, panic turned into outright warfare. Sources claimed that an emergency meeting was held at a private location. Everyone was required to hand over their phones before entering. Allegedly, the atmosphere was pure tension, people glaring at each other, voices raised, accusations flying. "This ain't no family anymore," one source said. "This is survival." One witness claimed that d4vd finally spoke during this meeting. Slamming his hand on the table, he allegedly said, "If you're the one who leaked this, say it now. Because once the lawyers get involved, it's over for you." The room went silent. Nobody moved. But that silence wasn't loyalty, it was fear. Meanwhile, fans started digging into his inner circle. Old Instagram lives, backstage clips, and interviews were resurfaced. People analyzed body language between him and his crew. A clip from months ago where one of his friends awkwardly dodged a question suddenly went viral with captions like, "He knew something." People even compared tattoos and voice patterns to identify who might have been the second person in the recording. It was part scandal, part internet true crime binge. Then came another shocker. A former tour manager came forward anonymously, claiming that weeks before the scandal broke, they overheard a heated argument about loyalty and money between d4vd and two of his closest friends. He told them straight up, "If this ever blows up, I'll know who folded," the manager alleged. That statement fit eerily well with the vibe of the leaked audio. Fans pieced it together like puzzle pieces. Brands and industry insiders began making moves quietly, but decisively. One fashion collab announced earlier in the year was abruptly postponed indefinitely. A streaming platform removed him from their featured playlists. A major label exec was quoted anonymously saying, "We're not touching this until the legal smoke clears." Too risky. The fallout wasn't gradual, it was surgical. One by one, the pillars that had been holding his career up started to disappear. And then came the betrayal bombshell. Gossip blogs started reporting that one of his closest friends, someone he'd known long before fame, had met with authorities shortly before the leak. Nobody knew if it was true, but the rumor alone was enough to fracture whatever loyalty was left. People pointed at photos, tagged names, and accused each other like it was a witch hunt. The friend in question went silent online. No posts, no responses, no lives. That silence was interpreted as guilt by many. If he was innocent, he'd say something, one fan wrote. Others urged caution. This could be part of their legal strategy. Don't jump to conclusions. But in the court of public opinion, silence is dangerous. On top of that, a third audio clip emerged, this time just a few words. Allegedly recorded during a party weeks before the scandal broke. It wasn't incriminating by itself, but the timing was damning. In it, a voice sounding like d4vd joked, "Y'all gonna snitch on me one day, huh?" Followed by nervous laughter. In normal times, it would have been brushed off. But in the current climate, fans treated it like a confession. Inside his family, the betrayal narrative deepened. Reports surfaced that a family member had lawyered up separately, fueling speculation that they might cooperate with authorities to save themselves. "They're protecting their own," a source claimed. Nobody wants to be dragged down with him. Meanwhile, the internet grew more divided. Half of his fan base doubled down, convinced this was an elaborate setup by jealous rivals or industry execs who wanted to destroy him. "They're trying to take him out like they always do to young talent," one supporter posted. The other half became increasingly skeptical, calling for accountability and demanding answers. If he's innocent, why isn't he speaking? Why do these leaks keep coming? The duality was everywhere. One TikTok video would defend him passionately. The next would break down the leaked audio like a true crime documentary. Some fans even started holding Twitter spaces where they debated evidence like lawyers, complete with guest speakers, timestamps, and theories. It wasn't just a scandal anymore. It was an obsession. Industry insiders reportedly started referring to this as the Betrayal case. Labels were gossiping. Managers were warning their artists to keep your circle clean, and podcasts dedicated entire episodes to breaking it all down. One particularly viral podcast claimed, "This isn't just a scandal. This is someone inside taking him down piece by piece." Through all this, d4vd's silence became almost mythical. No one had seen him in public for over a week. Paparazzi staked outside his house but caught nothing. Fans joked he had gone underground, but others whispered that his team was preparing a carefully worded legal statement that could shift the narrative completely. Whether that was true or not, nobody knew. But the clock was ticking, and the internet wasn't waiting. By the end of week 1, the betrayal wasn't just a theory anymore, it was the dominant narrative. Every post, every discussion, every headline was centered around the question, who flipped? Who leaked? And how deep did this go? Some fans were convinced this was only the beginning, that more tapes, more betrayals, and more shocking revelations were on the way. And somewhere out there, someone with the full unedited tape still hadn't played their final card. The storm didn't fade, it got worse. If part 1 was the shock of the leak, the next chapter was the fallout, and it hit harder than anyone expected. Within 48 hours, the so-called betrayal tape wasn't just a trending topic. It had become a cultural phenomenon. Entire YouTube channels popped up overnight, dedicated to analyzing the clip second by second. TikTok edits layered the audio over crime scene footage and paparazzi clips of d4vd, painting him like a character in a Netflix true crime documentary. The internet wasn't just reacting, it was building a narrative, one that seemed to spin faster than reality itself. And that's when the betrayals inside his circle started surfacing publicly. A blog notorious for industry leaks claimed to have screenshots of a group chat between d4vd's crew. The messages were messy, full of accusations, finger-pointing, and panic. One line read, "You sold him out. Admit it." Another said, "They already got the tape, what else you give them?" Whether those screenshots were real or manufactured, fans ate them up. Within hours, hashtags like #SnakeInTheCircle and #WhoSNIDCHED were trending worldwide. What made things worse was the sudden appearance of a second clip. This one wasn't audio, it was a blurry video. Posted anonymously on Reddit, it showed what looked like a heated argument inside a mansion kitchen. A voice, allegedly d4vd's, shouts, "You think I don't know who it is? You think I don't see the snake?" Fans lost their minds. "He knows someone flipped." One comment screamed. Even skeptics began to question, if all this was fake, why did it feel so real? Meanwhile, family tensions boiled over. A cousin who had once proudly repped d4vd on social media suddenly posted a cryptic IG story, "Blood don't mean loyalty." Within minutes, blogs were screenshotting it, spinning stories that his own family had turned against him. Some fans felt betrayed. Others argued the family was protecting themselves from a storm that was only getting darker. Either way, the once perfect image of d4vd as the family-oriented prodigy had been shattered. Behind the scenes, industry panic deepened. A source inside a major label reportedly told a journalist, "Nobody wants to touch this until we know what's real." The legal risk is insane. Sponsors vanished faster than ever. A sneaker brand that had teased a collab deleted every mention within hours of the audio leak. A gaming company quietly pulled down a campaign. It wasn't just the money disappearing, it was the credibility, the image, the narrative that had made d4vd such a marketable star. And then came the twist nobody expected. A well-known YouTuber claimed to have an extended version of the tape. In a dramatic live stream, they played a few muffled seconds, just enough to spark chaos. The supposed longer version included a line where the voice says, "If they talk, they're done too." That was all it took. Fans went into overdrive. Was this a threat? Was it a metaphor? Was it even him? Theories spread like wildfire. Some believed the YouTuber was faking it for clout. Others swore it was the missing piece of the puzzle. Even artists who had stayed silent began to chime in. A rapper with a massive following tweeted, "These kids think loyalty's a game until the feds knock." Another wrote, "Seen too many fall this way. Protect yourself." To outsiders, it looked like thinly veiled shots at d4vd. To fans, it was confirmation that the industry already believed he was guilty. Inside his circle, paranoia turned into all-out war. One insider claimed that phones were being checked, laptops wiped, and meetings held in person only. "Nobody trusts anybody," the source said. "They look at each other like enemies now." Another alleged that one member of his team walked out mid-argument, yelling, "I ain't doing time for nobody." If those details were exaggerated, they still painted the picture of a crew imploding from within. Meanwhile, the internet carried on with its trial by fire. TikTok detectives claimed they recognized them. Background hum in the audio as a specific studio near downtown. Live-a Reddit post lined up the supposed timestamps of the recording with public sightings of d4vd. People started digging through his old interviews, hunting for moments where he mentioned loyalty, betrayal, or snakes in the grass. Suddenly, his lyrics weren't art, they were confessions. And then came the biggest betrayal yet, or at least the most shocking rumor. A gossip page with nearly 1 million followers claimed that a longtime friend, someone who'd been in photos and videos with him for years, had secretly cut a deal with investigators. They didn't name the person, but they dropped hints enough for fans to speculate wildly. Entire threads popped up trying to unmask the snake, comparing tattoos, voices, and timelines. The friend group that once looked untouchable now looked like a lineup of suspects. Through all of this, d4vd himself stayed silent. No interviews, no statements, just silence, while the internet turned him into a villain or a victim, depending on who you asked. Some fans begged him to speak, flooding his last Instagram post with comments like, "Tell your side." Others saw the silence as guilt. The longer he stayed quiet, the louder the noise became. The betrayal wasn't just inside his crew, it was spreading everywhere. Fans turned on each other in comment sections, debating whether he was innocent or guilty. Old collaborators unfollowed him. A producer who once called him family deleted all their posts together. Even playlists that had once championed his songs replaced them overnight. By the end of the week, what started as a leaked audio had spiraled into something bigger, a full-blown implosion. Friends, family, fans, brands, every layer of his support system was cracking. The only question left hanging in the air, who betrayed him first, and who would be next? And that's where we are right now. A leaked audio that flipped the entire story on its head. Insider betrayal tearing through the walls of what once looked like an unbreakable circle. And a rising star whose silence is louder than any press release. What started as whispers about a Tesla and vague rumors has now snowballed into a cultural spectacle: leaks, betrayals, family fractures, industry panic. This isn't just a scandal anymore. This is a breaking point. The truth is, we still don't know who leaked that tape. Was it a trusted friend trying to protect themselves? A family member cutting a quiet deal? Or an outside hand playing puppet master from the shadows? The lines are so blurred now that even his own camp reportedly doesn't know who to trust. And that's what makes this story terrifying. It's not just about what's already been revealed. It's about what's still waiting to drop. Because if that extended version of the tape really exists, if more insiders start flipping, then this scandal isn't even close to over. The music industry has seen its share of meltdowns, but this has the potential to rewrite the playbook. A young artist at the peak of his career, watching everything he built fall apart from the inside. Fans are divided, brands are gone, insiders are whispering, and every day a new twist hits the timeline. If this is how the story ends, it's already legendary. But if this is just the middle, then we haven't seen anything yet. Now it's your turn. What do you think is really going on behind closed doors? Do you believe the tape is real, or is this one massive setup designed to end his career? Who's the snake in the circle? Drop your thoughts below, don't hold back. I want to know what side you're on. And if you want every leaked clip, every betrayal, and every dark twist the second it hits, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Because in this story, the next chapter could break at any moment, and when it does, we'll be right here breaking it down for you.